All right, what's going on, good people? What's going on? It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on TikTok live. I can't even remember the date last time I've been on here, but life's been happening, life's been moving. But wanted to hop on here on a Sunday night and answer your questions, answer your concerns, talk about whatever you need to talk about, just to give some love to TikTok as we keep this thing growing. I love the love you guys have been giving us, so I wanted to return the favor and just be here for you guys, answer any questions that you have about PT school, being a pre-PT, being a PT, the ins and out of everything, and so on and so forth. So if you're not following us on all our other platforms, make sure you are, from YouTube to Twitter to TikTok to podcasts to our website. Make sure you're subscribed to all the websites and everything like that. We have tons of value just to give you to make sure that you are good to go to become physical therapists. So a few announcements before you guys start dropping your questions on here. I'll probably stay on here for about 30-ish minutes or so. So if you have questions, just drop them below, because as the people returning know, when questions start going, they just start flowing and I try to keep up. So if you have questions, go ahead and drop them below and I'll get to them in just a second. But some announcements coming up is for our debt-free summit, our halfway to debt-free summit. Make sure that you sign up by the end of tonight because our discount of 75% off ends tonight at midnight Eastern time. So make sure you're there, make sure you're signed up, because we want to make sure that you guys are good in your career, meaning that you get to become a PT like myself and like Joseph and like many others, and you get to love your career and not be stressed out about, oh my gosh, I have all these student loans, I have undergrad loans and graduate loans, and I have this and I can't handle it, and now I hate my career of PT, and man, now I regret my decision to go to PT school, all because I just didn't have that financial education and I did not plan accordingly, or I didn't know how to make more money, and so on and so forth. So we're going to have a whole day, a whole online summit to talk about that money aspect. So when you guys are out in your careers, you are loving it and you can treat the patients how you want to, and you can start your own business how you want to, from that aspect of your career. Because I don't know if many of you have ran into this problem, but some other students, many other students have, of where they go out to observe and get their observation hours from PTs, and some of them run into PTs who are not happy with their career. Some of them run into business owners or people in the hospital, and they're like, yeah, don't do PT, I should have never done it, I'm in all this debt, it's not worth it, I'm not getting paid enough. And we don't want that to be you. So if we can start now, that would be our goal, to make sure you guys enjoy your career. So that's the Halfway to Debt Free Summit. Link is in our bio, or you can go to halfwaytodebtfree.com. We did this last year. We're going to have speakers there talking about what they did from last year up until this year. We have a couple of speakers, one in particular who I'm thinking of right now at the top of my head. She was at the summit last year, and now she's starting PT school. She got accepted, and now she's starting it, and she's now scheduled to be graduating from PT school debt-free from what she implemented from just one speaker talking about scholarships last year. So if you want to go to PT school and come out potentially debt-free like she did, make sure you sign up, make sure you listen to her talk, and we'll have other speakers talking about their perspectives from PT school and being PTs, and their successful financial situation and them loving life as a PT now. So that is the main, that's the main announcement there. Then if you guys are new, just make sure you follow us everywhere so we can help you out as well. So now I'm going to open this up, this little Q&A box. If you guys want to use the Q&A box, I'll have it open up. You guys can use that there, or on TikTok. Usually people just drop their questions in the comments and I answer them accordingly. So I'll be on here for the next 20-ish, 30 minutes. Then I'll get ready for my job tomorrow. So I'll be good to go there. So drop your questions below. Let's get this rolling, and we'll go from there. Oh, okay. People are putting stuff in the... I'm going to try and have both of these up. The Q&A box and the comments. So let's go with the Q&A box first, and we'll go from there. So Rebecca's asking, when did you start studying for boards? Good question. Good question. When did you start studying for boards? So my certain situation, I started studying for boards about 9 to 10 months in advance. Now that's just me. Most people start between 2 and 4 months in advance before boards. However, in PT school, myself and Joseph were doing pre-PT grind and getting that off the ground. And I wanted to take my boards before I graduated because the board exam was about 2 to 3 weeks before our particular school graduated their class. So I wanted to have my boards done, pass the boards, walk across the stage, and be done. But at the same time, I knew I was going on all my clinicals in the third year. We were launching pre-PT grind and getting that off the ground. So I just needed to make sure that I had all this going for me in the right direction. So that's when I started studying for it. I used the PT Hustle. His name is Dr. Kyle Rice. Just look him up, Google PT Hustle, or find him. I think forgot the exact name of his group, but find him on Facebook. His free Facebook group is just destroying it, and you'll love it. So definitely check that out there. There we go. Is college really worth it? Great question. My question back to you, if you're still on Lil Sleaze, if you're still on, let me know, like, what do you want to do? It depends what you want to do. Like, if college is worth it for you. If you want to become a physical therapist, become a medical physician, become a nurse practitioner, become an architect, become a lawyer, yes, college, you have to go to college for that. If not, then it's a different story, and you may not have to go to college. Maybe you just have to go to, trade school. There we go. If you just want to if you want to do welding and be a welder, then no, you go to trade school for that. You specifically go to trade school. I'm not sure if welding has the apprenticeship. Then a lot of my patients are in the trades. They say, like, it's apprenticeship, then you're a junior or something, then you become, the official person. So no, you don't necessarily need college to do that. You need to go to trade school and whatever they're teaching you there. But no, you don't need college for that. Not at all. All right. There we go. Trade school electrician here. Hey, you can help me out. My patients talk about it all the time, but I'm not exactly sure how all that works. Let's see. Flufferer. All right. Do people usually apply to scholarships after they get accepted or as they are applying? Both. Usually both. The speaker from last year, she started applying for scholarships, I believe, before she got accepted. This speaker that's going to happen, who's going to speak this year at the Debt Free Summit, I believe she started applying for scholarships before she got accepted too, because she heard that talk and she started applying for scholarships last year after that talk, and now she's accepted to PT school, so she started applying before PT school as well. So yes, it could be both though. They're going to talk about that at the Debt Free Summit, so go to halfwaytodebtfree.com and you can get your ticket there. But it can definitely be both. They, at least the speaker from last year, definitely talked about how you don't have to stop looking for scholarships once you get into your respective field, whether that's PT, MD, whatever you're going to do, because there's still going to be money out there. So, great question, but it definitely can be both. What's going on, Brianna? Glad you're here. If you're still here, what's up? Did you end up in the specialty I lost it. Did you end up, let me go back here. Here we go. Did you end up in the specialty you expected? Yes. I was really open though to the specialties that I would be going into, and that's why I went to go into PT, because you can be in hella specialties. Like, there's just so many options with one degree. Like that one degree back there, like I can do almost anything within our scope of practice with the one degree. So my specialty that I thought I was going to go into was orthopedics, and I'm in orthopedics now. So but I'm still open to home health, neuro, pediatrics, cardiopulmonary, lymphedema. I did some lymphedema treatment. I taught my student that probably a week ago or so. So we've been doing that. I'm open. So, but yes, I did land in the specialty that I thought I would. Do PT schools turn you down for low GPA? Depends what you mean by low GPA. Some do, some don't. If you go to our link in bio, our GPA data report, you can see the schools that have their GPAs public, and most of them do. You can see, like, okay, this school only requires a 3.0 and a 3.2. somewhere in there. Another school, hey, they really want 3.7s and 3.8s. And it just goes back and forth, back and forth. But we have it all laid out there from the schools with the lower GPAs that they accept, from the schools who only accept the highest GPAs. So make sure you grab that, the GPA data report. Link is in the bio. And you can see that whole breakdown there. But it definitely does depend on the GPA, or sorry, just depends on the school with if they turn you down or not. Mostly it's like a 3.0 cumulative GPA, meaning overall GPA, and a 3.0 PT school specific GPA. So if you're under a 3.0, usually to make it easier on themselves, just like all the other schools out there, they have like a computer system who just kind of kicks you out. Some schools are a little bit lower, 2.8, 2.75, but it depends on the school. So yes, yes and no. Good question though. I have an interview on Tuesday. Any advice? What kind of interview? If you're still on Leah or Leia, I believe it's Leah. If you're still on, what kind of interview? But just in case you're still not on or I don't see your question, basically an underrated thing for interviews, in my opinion, is the questions you ask them. That's number one. Then number two is just how you act. Like right now, I'm technically doing an interview, right? I'm just answering their questions, just like you will be answering their questions on the interview. This is an interview. So if you go and watch your favorite podcast or watch me or whatever, just pay attention to how they act. All right, am I chill? Am I smiling? Am I, just worried about stuttering over my words? Am I relaxed? Am I pausing to actually think about the answer? So pay attention to your favorite person on their podcast and just kind of observe how they are from that aspect. So when you go into the interview, you're as professional and relaxed and confident and comfortable as possible, because you don't want to go in there like, yes, like a robot. You don't, like, they just want to get to know you. So two most underrated things is just how you are, how you're going to be acting, how comfortable you are, how confident you are. Then the second one is what questions you ask them. That stands out a lot too. How hard was it to find a job after grad school? For me, I was getting job offers before I graduated. That's how it usually is outside of COVID for most PTs. Like they're offering you jobs, so it's not hard at all to find jobs. All the jobs, of course, that they're offering might not be the jobs you want. For the jobs you want, you might have to try a little harder. You might have to travel somewhere. Of course, just like every other job out there. But no, for me, no. No, I got job offers in my email before I even graduated. So that's another beauty of PT. What is your job about? It's a great question. So I'm a physical therapist, and basically how I like to explain it is physical therapists or physical therapy treats patients or helps people before and or after an injury. So I'll say it again. If anybody's listening and they're a pre-PT and they're like, oh my gosh, I found this physical therapy thing, but I don't know about it. Do they work with athletes, but they work with other people? I don't really know. The best explanation, the simplest explanation that I say to people when they ask is physical therapists help other people before and or after an injury. Now, the injury could be a stroke. We help people after strokes. The injury could be after birth. There are physical therapists who specialize in women's pelvic health. It could be after a vasectomy. There are physical therapists who help with male pelvic health. It could be after an ankle sprain or a shoulder surgery. It could be after a traumatic brain injury. It could be after a car accident. Could be after something that happened with their balance. Could be after debilitation if they're super old, so on and so forth. The injury word now can be used a little differently. So we help people before and or after an injury or traumatic event. So yeah, great question. Hope it was things you should highlight for your resume on Ptcast. So I'm going to make an assumption here. I assume you just mean specifically your resume on Ptcast, right? And not Ptcast. You're not assuming Ptcast is the resume, right? Some just have to clarify. Some people get a little confused there. But things you should highlight on your resume for Ptcast. So education, work experience, volunteer hours, any honors you have, and any specialties that you have, like if you're bilingual or if you have You got certain Google certification, like your SEO certified or something like that. That would be good to put on there. Just professional things like that, certifications if you're a lifeguard, stuff like that. But education, work experience, volunteer, honors, and any specialties that you might have. If my assumption is correct. All right, I think I'm good with that. Let's go back to the comments here. Interview, turn down. Cool. Okay, so why does Ptcast have different deadlines from Google searched deadlines? There we go. So good question. So when you say Google search deadlines, you might be referring to the school's website. But Ptcast has deadlines like this. So it's going to usually be on the 1st or 15th of every month, give or take a few days because of weekends. So with that, schools can choose what deadlines on Ptcast they want, because Ptcast is just the system that's used to apply through. It's just a computer system. It's just a profile system, right? So Ptcast gives the schools different deadlines to have their applicants submit through. 1st, 15th, give or take, right? So some schools can pick October 1st. Another school that you might apply to may have January 15th, so on and so forth. So that's probably what you're talking about. For why Ptcast has different deadlines is just how it is, based on what the school's needs are, how far away they want the deadline to be, what other things they have to do with their classes still in the school as well. And they can just choose which deadlines they want. So that's when you have to have your application in through Ptcast. So hope that answers it. Hope that wasn't confusing. If I missed your question, just ask it again. Sorry if I did. Did you take a gap year before you got into PT school? If so, so I did not take a gap year, but I got rejected my first time, then applied the second time. So how it worked, I was a pharmacy student, a pre-pharmacy student. However, my school had a 3+3 program where I could apply my junior year, and they had kind of a freshman acceptance thing. So I tried that my junior year, got rejected, applied again the second year, which was my technically senior year, and got accepted that way, or that year. So technically, I had a gap year. Some people would argue, yes, I did. Some people say no, technically not. But basically, what I did was improve my GPA, rewrite my essays, get different letters of recommendation. I retook classes, worked a summer job, was a TA for anatomy, and we started the foundations of Pre-PT Grind, which was called the Pre-PT Success Program way back in 2014. So, and everything I've learned and we've learned since then is now in our coaching program called the Accepted System. And we drop gems all the time just like this. So, yeah. Okay, I think I got that. Resume on Ptcast, gap year. Good stuff. Thank you very much. Cool. Let me check the question box. Okay, I think I did. I think we're good. All right. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. I'm going to scroll through here, make sure I didn't miss any questions. If I did, just let me know. I'll stay on here 5-ish minutes more. So if you guys have questions, drop them below. I'll be more than happy to answer. And we'll go from there. Then we'll call it a night. So you guys can do whatever you need to do and watch the Olympics or whatever. Let's see here. I got that one. There we go. So any tips on starting your essay? So great question. So we have a essay service at preptessay.com, or if you just go to the link in the bio, like I basically write it with you, like literally. Like I take an hour and a half. No, we got this done like an hour, 16 minutes or so. I went through the Ptcast essay and 2 extra supplemental essays in like an hour and 16 minutes, and we all wrote it together. It's recorded. The live replay is recorded. Go to preptessay.com. Link is in the bio. Like it was just amazing. But basically, you need to do 3 things, and I did a YouTube video about this. If you're not on our YouTube channel, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. But 3 things you need to pay attention to is, number 1, your setting or your experience. Because with an essay, you're basically writing a script to a movie. You're writing a book to answer the question of the prompt, right? So what does a movie or a book have? They have a plot, they have a setting, they have an experience, they have a scene, right? Follow me here. So next, what does a book and a movie have? They also have characters. But who is the character in this story, in your story? You are the character. You are the character, okay? So we're going to have your character inside that setting. So let's go back to the beginning. Inside that experience, inside that setting, what is your setting or experience going to be about? Maybe you swam. Maybe you're a lifeguard. Maybe you got in a car accident. Maybe your grandmother or grandfather got injured. Maybe you got injured. Maybe you found PT through an observation hour. Maybe you found it through a family friend. What is that experience that answers the prompt? Then number two, inside that experience, what kind of character do you want to be portrayed as? You want to be portrayed as funny? Do you want to be a funny character, a smart character, a witty character, a confident character, very cocky and mean? Do you want to be powerful? Do you want to be knowledge seeking? Like, what do you want your character to be? Then lastly, you have to combine this all together. And those two, that experience and your character, why does that matter for you becoming a therapist? Like, what does that have to do? Why does that experience combine, those two experiences combined? What does that have to do with why you'd be a great physical therapist? So that's where you should start. That's where you should get things rolling. Like I said, we break all this down. If you're like, oh my gosh, you went too fast, I'm so confused, I don't know what to do. You can either first go to our YouTube channel and just type in Ptcast essay and you'll see my most recent video there. Then go to preptessay.com and it's done. Your essay is basically done. It's just waiting for you at preptessay.com. So, I mean, I'll see you there, I guess. So, yeah. Just making sure. So Ptcast deadline of August 17th. First deadline isn't really a strict deadline. Yes, it depends on the school, or just depends on the school deadline. So August 17th, you're probably talking about, I don't think that's early decision anymore. I don't think they're doing early decision, but yes, it is a strict deadline. It is a strict deadline. Ptcast deadline is a strict deadline. If that makes sense. If you're following me, if you're confused, send me a DM or just ask another question. But yes, Ptcast deadlines are a strict deadline. If you have any confusion, especially for that specific school, shoot the admissions coordinator an email and say, hey, I see your Ptcast deadline is August 17th, but your school deadline is something different. Did you update the website? Should it be different? Let me know. So shoot them a message. But yes, Ptcast deadlines are a strict official deadline. So yes, unless they say soft deadline, but I don't want to confuse you too much, but just take it as a strict deadline. Let's see. Summer got about 90 hours of shadowing. Should I shadow more? I did half outpatient, half inpatient. I'm also going to be a junior in undergrad. What steps should I? Okay, so for observation hours, it seems like you have enough. However, what schools do you want to apply to or think you want to apply to? If you know that already, go to their Ptcast profile and check to see, do they want 90 hours? Do they want 45 inpatient, 45 outpatient? If so, you're good. You don't necessarily need more hours. You can get them if you want in something special to have a variety, but you don't necessarily need them. However, if they're like, no, we need 100 inpatient, 100 outpatient, and you need some more hours. Who's this, Troy? Then Troy, you need some more hours. So that's where you need to start. It's not necessarily, hey, is this enough? Is this not? They will tell you exactly for every school that you think about going to apply to. They will tell you, yes, this is enough, or you'll find out, no, this is not enough. So just keep that in mind. Then your junior and undergrad, what steps should I take to find the right school? I have a YouTube video on that. Basically 4 things I look for in a school. But basically cost, keep your costs as low as possible. That's what we'll be talking about at the Halfway to Debt Free Summit. halfwaytodebtfree.com, 75% off at the end of tonight. If you don't want to be in debt your whole life and you want to start making some money as a potential PT before PT school, just go to halfwaytodebtfree.com. But to finding the right schools, go to our YouTube channel and type in pre-PT grind for priorities. That's one video you can just start with. Then I have a bunch of videos on finding the right school. But it's just about what you want. It's just about what you want. That's on your end. What do you want from a school? Then other than that, you have to make sure that you're meeting the school's requirements. So if you're like, oh, great, I found FAMU. I want to go to FAMU. That's they have everything I want. But if you go and search their requirements and you're like, I don't have everything they want. So now you have a decision to make. Do you want to still apply to that school or you want to apply somewhere else that you have the requirements for? If so, then you apply to a different school. If you still want to apply to FAMU, then you have to bump up whatever you have to get done to meet their requirements. So, yeah, that's what you should be looking into. What do you want from a school, and what does a school want from you? And if you meet those requirements, then you can keep looking for schools that you might be interested in. Great questions. All right, I'll stay 30 more seconds. If there's any last questions, drop them below. Then I'll send you guys on your way to enjoy your Monday tomorrow, and get that week started for whatever you have to do, whether it's, end these summer classes or get ready for school or just sleep in or watch the Olympics later. Whatever you need, go for it. But thanks for hopping on. Remember, follow us everywhere else, from Ptcast to Instagram to Facebook to our website, and check the link in bio for a bunch of great stuff. All right, guys, take care. See you next time.